Giants at Browns. That's what Jeremy's messaging me in the private comments. Apparently, he agrees we're taking too fucking long. So, Giants and Browns. We spent way too long on a potential 10-6 game. So, we have more ugly quarterback options here that are really only options in Superflex, Watson and Jones. The running backs in this seem to be losing value by the week in Ford and Singletary. We have a collection, I guess, of interesting receivers, 2 startable ones, I think. And then the tight ends, if David Njoku is healthy.
We need it.
I guess the running backs are the most interesting. Ford and Singletary, I think they're RB3s for me at this point. They seem to both be losing work. Like Foreman was really involved last week. Where do you have Ford and Singletary? That's probably the best place to start.
Let's see. Where do you have them, Jeremy? Because I need to pull
good. I'm scrolling. Ford is like a back end RB2. It's looking like he's RB24 at the moment. Singletary is unfortunately worse. It's just because of that Cleveland defense. So he's kind of mid-range RB3 for me, even though he's getting the work. He looked better last week, but of course he was playing Washington and he didn't look nearly as good as we thought he would, especially production-wise. He almost got 100 yards and a touchdown, but that wasn't fantastic for, his fantasy production. So he's not really getting it done in the passing game. I'd prefer Jerome Ford here, obviously, but Singletary for me is probably a sit.
Yeah, I'm on the other side. Like the usage for Ford terrifies me. Because they give Foreman a ton of work, and in a game like this where they're expected to they're 6-point favorites, that's pretty heavy favorites. So they're more than likely going to be in positive game scripts throughout, which means Foreman's more than likely going to be involved again. So that's what we're. So I think either one of those running backs you're shooting for a touchdown from Ford or from Foreman. If you can get it, cool. I just think we're in the RB 30 to 35 range. It's okay, but you need the touchdown for them to really be viable. Unless Ford gets some targets, which I don't know. Njoku comes back, that changes things a lot. So I'm kind of waiting to see on Njoku. The tight end position needs it, man. We need tight end so desperately. So come back, Njoku, please.
Yeah, the quarterbacks, and I don't think either or any of us are looking to start either of these guys outside of super flex desperation situations. The wide receivers, I think we're all agreed we're starting 2. Cooper's probably a 2-3. Neighbors is bordering on a 1. I actually I won't name names. I seen someone yesterday that has Malik Neighbors now as their wide receiver 1 in dynasty rankings. I'm not that in. I think he's a borderline 1-2 for me. He's not my wide receiver 1 though. What do you guys think of Neighbors and Cooper?
Neighbors is incredible. You play Neighbors no matter what. It is what it is. Cooper, they got to figure it out with Cooper, man.
With Daniel Jones as your quarterback, can you really rank him wide receiver 1?
You just saw what he did week 1 and week 2. The guy, he doesn't matter. He seems pretty quarterback proof. And I know we say that about certain players, but we've talked about Garrett Wilson, Drake London having issues. Malik Neighbors has had 0 issues with Daniel Jones as his quarterback so far. So
it was Washington.
Yeah, Washington. He was still good week 1 though. He wasn't.
Well,
bad.
He was okay. It was 10 points against Minnesota. But
I think we saw the more ceiling outcome from him last week, similar to Marvin Harrison Jr. Most weeks, I'm fine making him a top 12-ish wide receiver. And if it's a good matchup, you could boost him higher. It's just the usage is out of control. If you're giving any wide receiver that usage similar to Cooper Kupp, you got to find those guys in your lineup. It's just too valuable.
Yeah, it was a 55% target share last week for Neighbors. So 60, so ridiculous, right? 18 targets any week. I don't care who you are. I can't push him into the top 12. He's my wide receiver 13 this week, just because the Cleveland secondary is so good. But he's still going to see double-digit targets guaranteed.
Well, like I said, I still have him as a wide receiver 1. I think he's 11 or 12 for me. This told me more. It told me less about how good he is, which we kind of knew. It told me more about start everyone against the fucking Commanders is kind of the point. They're awful. I don't really think is there anything else in this game. We spoke on Njoku. If he's healthy, you're starting him in line to practice Wednesday with an ankle. You got to hope he's healthy. I'm not really at this point. I think the Giants tight ends are useless. Is there anybody in this game worthwhile? I know Wandale had 12 targets, then it went to 4. Judy doesn't seem to be he's getting 6 targets. I think he's if you need a flex due to injury, he's got 12 and 12 points in both weeks here. He's going to get you 4, 5, 6 catches for 50 yards. You hope he gets a touchdown, but there's no upside there. It's a desperation injury Is there anyone else really you guys want to talk about in this one? It's not really exciting.
I'm with you. If Njoku doesn't play, I'm fine flexing Judy. Like I think you could work that in your lineup, but yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, the Amari Cooper stuff is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, he's being used. He's running routes. I mean, part of that is Deshaun Watson. I think you just got to keep flexing him. You can't really rely on him as your wide receiver 2 right now, but you got to keep flexing Amari, especially against a pretty below average Giants team.
For me, it looks like Watson looks like he's too stressed out there and he's under too much pressure and he needs to just relax in the pocket. If ever a guy was in need of a massage, is it not Deshaun Watson? Like, why can't he just go get a massage and feel better?
Listen, poor guy. They've been warned in Cleveland.
So much sympathy. I could see the sympathy just coming right out there. All right.
Well, listen, wait. Sorry. Before we go on, next 3 weeks, Giants, Raiders, Commanders for the Cleveland Browns. So it'll happen at some point for these Browns.
Trade for Amari Cooper.
Listen, I think you should. Like, he's the legit buy low, I think. Because look at the sentiment we just got across from Jamie. Like, he's talking about he's giving up on him. So that shows you, like, Cooper's a good wide receiver. We saw it last year. Like, it will come around. You just have to be patient. So don't give up on him, Jamie. Just throw him on your bench if you're worried about it. But I would not, like, get rid of him or anything like that.